What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and as you know, those of you that follow me here on the channel, right now, Congress is working on that new $3.5 trillion stimulus package. This is the second portion of the infrastructure bill, and right now they're working on all the provisions that are to be included. Now, right now, we don't have all of the details of the provisions, but a lot of proposals are coming out from members of Congress as to what should be included. And those of you that saw my video yesterday, we saw a new one come out, a new suggestion, a push for literally $10,000 stimulus checks to every single person in the nation. And that would mean that a household of four would get a check for $40,000. Well, we also got a new one that came out, and we're hearing that some of these proposals, they're actually getting supported, endorsed by the White House. So some of these are very likely going to be making it in. Now, the new one that I'm going to be sharing with you today just came out, is suggesting that single parents get a stimulus check of $6,000 and that married couples that have children would get a stimulus check of $12,000. Take a look at this, and these are actually coming out from GOP members of Congress. That's right, link in the description below. Marco Rubio. He's one of the people that's suggesting a new provision for the stimulus package. Here's another one. Take a look at this. Senator Josh Hawley, remember him? He announced 15 amendments to the Democrats' far-left budget, calls to pass parent tax credit, hire more police, and reopen schools. Take a look. This was on Monday of this week. It says, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley announced that he will introduce 15 amendments to the Democrats' newly proposed $3.5 trillion budget resolution of fiscal year 2022. Now, Senator Hawley's amendments would allow for the hiring of 100,000 new police officers, restrict federal funding for K-12 schools that refuse to fully reopen, and fight back against critical race theory and protect the unborn. Now, like I said, you might be thinking, this is coming from the GOP, and the Democrats are going to be passing this through reconciliation on their own without any GOP support, so who cares? Well, turns out that the White House does. Take a look at this. Press release just came out yesterday. White House endorses Hawley's plan to hire 100,000 new cops, and it says, hoping to distance themselves from the Democratic Party's incredibly unpopular defund the police agenda, the White House endorses Senator Hawley's plan to hire 100,000 new police officers, you guys. So there is a lot unfolding here, and we're hearing that some of these are getting endorsed regardless of whether they're coming from Democrats or GOPs to be included. And as I've let you guys know that follow me here on the channel, this $3.5 trillion stimulus package, the blueprint that was released, it is going to change. It's going to be modified as they start to write the legislative text and add new provisions in. Things are going to be taken out. Things are going to be added in. And I will be sure to keep you guys up to date. And one of the ones we're going to be discussing is one of the amendments proposed by Senator Josh Hawley puts $6,000 into single parents' pockets and $12,000 into married coupled parents' pockets. So you guys, I'm going to dive right into these, get you caught up on the latest on these new proposals, which we will see if they make it into the next stimulus package. But before we dive in and I get you caught up as of today, August 13th, 2021, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you like and appreciate these updates, don't forget to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Helps out the channel a ton. Just takes a second. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments down below. I love hearing your thoughts on all this stuff that's coming out. And if you think this is going to help out other people, be sure to share it out on social media platforms. And if this is your first time here, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. You can come join the RAM fam, and I'll keep you up to date on stimulus, Congress, the economy, unemployment, anything that's going on right now that has to do with money. And if you got any specific questions that you want to send my way, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That is by far the best way to get a hold of me if you got any specific questions that you want me to answer. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in so I can get you caught up on these new proposals to provide new stimulus provisions in the next $3.5 trillion stimulus package. All right, you guys, so first up, let's go ahead and take a look at this new proposal from Senator Josh Hawley. Now, this actually came out a couple months ago, but it's being revived now that he has these 15 amendments that he wants to include to the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. And this tax credit for parents is by far the largest that we have seen proposed so far. And yes, it will provide monthly reoccurring checks. But then we're going to be taking a look at what Senator Marco Rubio had to say, as he also wants to do this, but he has added in some additional requirements that he'd like to see. That's right. This is not just going to be given out. There's going to be some requirements necessary. And then also we're going to take a look at all 15 of the amendments here shortly. But let's go ahead and dive into this tax credit. So, link in the description below to this proposal if you'd like to check it out for yourself. I always cite my sources so that way you can see them for yourself and know that I'm not just making up random stuff. Now, the article says Senator Hawley introduces parent tax credit, historic relief for working families. And it says today, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley announced legislation to create the parent tax credit, a historic tax cut to help working parents afford to start a family and raise their children. Now, through a fully refundable tax credit provided directly through automatic monthly advances. So this would be monthly reoccurring payments. Senator Hawley's parent tax credit gives working parents the flexibility they need to make the best choice for raising their families. Now, jumping down, it says, although most American families believe children are better off when one parent stays home to take care of them, current federal child care programs and policies force both parents into the labor market and require children to be enrolled in a formal commercial child care. Now, Senator Hawley's legislation creates a fully refundable tax credit of $6,000 for single parents and $12,000 for married parents with qualifying children. So you guys, they're saying that they don't have to be enrolled into certain schools or programs or anything like that. You can just get this if you are a parent, and this is by far the largest amount that we have seen, $6,000 for a single parent and $12,000 for married couples filing jointly. Now, Senator Marco Rubio said that he agrees that we should increase the amount that parents get. However, he wants some additional requirements. Take a look at this article, link in the description below. Rubio memo reminds reluctant Republicans that Democrats' child allowance is a, quote, poverty trap, a precursor to universal basic income. And it says Senator Marco Rubio is circulating a memo aimed at emboldening Republicans to fight a measure that would distribute even more taxpayer money to non-working parents. That's right. So he's saying that those parents that are not working at all, they should not be getting this free federal money. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, it says, in a sign of the times, Senator Marco Rubio of Florida, he is circulating a memo aimed at emboldening Republicans to fight a measure that would distribute federal money to non-working parents, worsening the, quote, poverty trap by extending the new child allowance through the budget reconciliation bill. Now, Rubio's memo also criticizes the media for characterizing Democrats' proposal as a, quote, expanded child tax credit, when the money, quote, goes to parents with zero tax liability or who are simply not working at all. Now, Rubio and Senator Mike Lee of Utah intend to introduce the amendment that would create a deficit-neutral fund that expands the child tax credit while maintaining the essential connection between receiving the credit and working. So you guys, they're saying that you should not receive a child tax credit if you're a parent unless at least one of the parents is actively working. Now, their colleagues may be less than interested voicing opposition. Some Republicans are a bit reluctant to criticize the plan. Now, in August's memo to Republican Senate staffers, Rubio warns the Biden administration the new government child tax benefit is a precursor to the Universal Basic Income, or UBI, by extending this new allowance that they want to go all the way through 2025. So right now, parents are getting those monthly checks. Well, right now it's proposed in that $3.5 trillion package to carry this out for another 4 years, and they're saying you're getting ready to introduce universal basic income, and this is going to be a poverty trap as parents and families will become dependent on that money, and there'll be no incentive for them to go out and work. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but this is just one of the suggestions that they're saying, and it says, in this reconciliation package, Rubio believes that Democrats would all but ensure the program becomes permanent. So their concerns is not only that it would go out to 2025, but it would be indefinite, go out permanently. Now, it's a fight Republicans may be disinclined to take up on the heels of lockdowns that battered working families, and at a time conservative intellectuals are reconsidering the morals and political values of limited government ideologies. But it's a fight that Rubio says he is well positioned to wage. So you guys, we're going to see what happens here, but they're saying that they don't want to give out free money anymore, and they don't want to do this for an extended period of time, only to those that are right now working. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, as I mentioned, you guys, pretty much new amendments, new proposals are rolling out every single day. And as they do, I'll be sure to keep you up to date because we're likely going to be seeing some of these make it into this stimulus package. Now, many of them will not make it, but I'll be sure to keep you up to date as they roll out here. And we heard Senator Josh Hawley has released 15 new amendments. It says to the Democrats' far left budget, he calls to pass a parent tax credit, which we just took a look at, hire more police, which we heard is being endorsed now by the White House, and to reopen schools. Now, we're going to see what makes it in, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date, but let's take a look at the 15 suggested amendments by Senator Josh Hawley. And here they are. The first one is, he wants to allow for the hiring of 100,000 new police officers to combat the growing crime wave in the United States, ban critical race theory in federal workplace diversity training, promote patriotic education in K-12 schools to teach students to love America, create a parent tax credit for working families that includes a work requirement and a marriage bonus of 100%. So in addition to you getting that tax credit and you need to be working, you also get a 100% bonus if you're married as well. Prohibit legislation that establishes government-run universal pre-kindergarten. Prohibit legislation that establishes government-run universal childcare. So pretty much combating exactly what they're suggesting be in that $3.5 trillion package. Protect the Hyde Amendment. Protect the Weldon Amendment. Conscious rights protection that prevents healthcare providers from being forced to perform or refer for abortion. Protect conscious rights by preventing healthcare providers from being forced to perform, provide, or refer for gender transition or reassignment surgeries, procedures, or medications. Restrict federal funding for K-12 schools that do not resume in-person instruction. Restrict federal funding for K-12 schools that mandate pandemic vaccines for students. Restrict federal funding for K-12 schools that mandate students wear masks. Defund the World Trade Organization. Ensure American taxpayers funded research stays in America and is not exploited by the Chinese Communist Party. And lastly, deliver additional mental health resources to rural areas. So you guys, those are the 15 amendments suggested by Senator Josh Hawley. We know that one has been endorsed by the White House. We will see if any of them are adopted by Congress. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Well, you guys, those are some of the new amendments, the new proposals being suggested to be included in the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. And whatever makes it in, I'll be sure to let you know. And whatever doesn't, I'll be sure to let you know here on the channel as well. And as more info rolls out from Congress, I will be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a second to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton. Also, this is your first time here. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff so you know what's going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, be sure to shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well. I'll be sure to catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.